All right, so let's start by talking about the tool that will open the most doors in your job search, your resume. Did you know that recruiters spend an average of 6 to 10 seconds looking at a resume? This means that your resume needs to be skimmable and grab their attention fast so they want to learn more about you. Here are a few tips to help you make sure your resume makes it through an ATS and into the hands of a human recruiter. The image on the right is of a resume that meets the requirements I'm about to mention. First, use the right file type. ATS systems are best able to read docx and PDF files. If you're creating a resume using Google Docs, you can simply download it as a docx or a PDF. Either or works, doesn't matter. Keep your formatting simple. Since ATS scans resumes for keywords, it can be confused from fancy formatting, graphics, or even tables, multiple columns, and text boxes. If an ATS isn't able to read your resume, it will reject it. So keep your formatting relatively simple. Use keywords from the job description. ATS systems are shown the job listing in order to learn which words to seek out in resumes. So when the ATS detects those keywords in your resume, it will flag you as a qualified candidate. For this reason, you should adjust your resume to reflect the words used in the actual job listing. Avoid headers and footers. Many ATS systems can't read headers and footers well. So make sure you don't put any critical information like your contact info in a header or footer. It's a good idea to have several customized versions of your resume. Recruiters notice when job candidates use information from a job listing in their resume. By doing this, you're showing recruiters that you are attentive to detail and invested in their specific job. So take a look at this example. The listing is for a marketing manager role, and the employer is seeking someone with 4 years marketing experience, experience managing a large budget, experience coordinating large-scale events, and proficiency in SQL, a language used to communicate with databases. So how can the person applying for this job work these requirements into the resume? The first requirement, 4 years of marketing experience, will be the easiest to demonstrate since their previous job will show that they've been in a marketing role for at least 4 years, right? So you can see here that this resume prominently calls out the applicant's experience with a $1 million marketing budget, as well as coordinating large events. And the final requirement, SQL proficiency, is noted in the skill section. This person put SQL at the top of their list since SQL was listed as a requirement in the job description. The formula is verbs plus accomplishments plus impact. Basically, by writing each bullet point this way, you're explaining what you did and why it matters. This is especially helpful to a recruiter who is unfamiliar with your specific role. Start with 1 or 2 action verbs to describe what you did in your job. Follow that with the actual accomplishment. Then complete your bullet point with the quantifiable impact this accomplishment had. So this is an example for a project manager role. Designed and implemented a new communication and accountability process which cut weekly meeting time by 50%. So this example starts with the action words designed and implemented, then mentions the accomplishment. In this case, the communication and accountability process finally gives us the result, 50% less time spent in weekly meetings. This formula works because it doesn't just create a list of tasks and responsibilities, it also helps you to elaborate on your tasks and responsibilities in a way that responds directly to the job listing. All right, so when you write about the things you've accomplished through your career, whenever possible, use numbers or metrics to quantify what you've done. Metrics are a powerful way to quickly make a case for yourself to a new employer. They provide evidence of the value brought to your former jobs. So put yourself in a recruiter's shoes. Which one paints a better picture about a candidate? Surpasses team sales goals, or oversaw a diverse 18-person team to increase sales goals by 20%. The more relevant and quantifiable details you can add, the better. Until recently, cover letters were requested for the majority of job applications. These days, they aren't always required. Still, there are some cases where it's a good idea to include one with your resume, like if you're applying to a job that requires writing skills. Before you spend time on a cover letter, make sure it's either required or requested by the hiring manager, or it will increase your chances of earning an interview. There are 3 major things you should address in any cover letter. First is who you are. In many cases, this is your first real contact with a recruiter or hiring manager. So write about why you want to work for this company or team specifically. This is a great place to mention your professional background or any connection you have with the company. The second thing to address is any issue that may come up when a recruiter or hiring manager is reading your resume. For example, lack of experience in the field or a gap in your resume. Last, touch on what you have to offer the company. Maybe it's a skill set they're looking for, or maybe it's just a passion for the job. If you know about a specific pain point that the company or team is struggling with, mention how you can help. An in-person interview or remote interview is your chance to make a great impression and let potential employers get to know you. It's an opportunity to share the value you can bring to a new role and express your enthusiasm. In addition to making a great impression, you also get the opportunity to learn about whether the new role, company, and hiring manager are a good fit for you. The term elevator pitch comes from the idea that if an important executive stepped into an elevator with you, you could pitch them on your product or service before the elevator arrived at its destination. Let's explore the components of a good elevator pitch during an interview. You can approach your elevator pitch several different ways, but for now, let's keep it simple. You'll want your elevator pitch to cover who you are, what you have to offer, and why you're interested in the position. As you did with your resume, it's a good idea to tailor your elevator pitch to the job you're applying for. Identify those qualities and experiences the recruiter and hiring manager are looking for, then make sure your elevator pitch speaks directly to them. Here's one example of an elevator pitch. I'm an educator with X years of experience teaching people of all ages. I currently design curriculum that teach people valuable skills to help people get high-paying jobs. And when the pandemic hit, I led a team to set up a fully virtual version of our training program, which allowed us to reach thousands at a time. I'm interviewing here today because I'm passionate about helping people access the technology and training they need to achieve their goals. As a lead educator, I'm here to help you achieve that at scale. All right, so now let's actually talk about the information interviewers may be hoping to get from these particular questions. So why do you want to work for this company? The answer you give shows whether you're aligned with the company's missions and values. So we talk about, of all the candidates we're interviewing, why should we hire you? Your answer shows which unique traits you have that will add value to the company. What do you consider is your biggest professional achievement? Your answer shows what you've accomplished in your career, but also which of these accomplishments you value most. So this one's tricky. Why are you leaving your current job? Your answer may reveal that, some difficulties you've had in your last job, like trouble getting along with people. On the other hand, if you're pivoting your career, it can be a great way to open up the conversation and explain why. This will give interviewers helpful content to understand your overall career path. And the next one, how would you deal with an angry customer or coworker? Your answer shows how you deal with conflict and whether you have good problem-solving skills. And last one, what are you looking for in a new role? Your answer shows, if you are looking, what you're actually looking for matches what the role can actually offer you. The goal is to make sure that you will actually be happy and successful in this new role. Chances are you'll come across some difficult questions. Here are some do's and don'ts to keep in mind. Don't speak badly of your former boss, company, or team. No matter how justifiable your anger or hurt feeling is about a situation, speaking bad about other people or organizations will always reflect poorly on yourself. Complaining or blaming may make you look bitter. Instead, what you want to do is share what you've learned and how you grew from a difficult situation. It's okay to acknowledge that circumstances or events were challenging or uncomfortable, but you should always share how you managed the situation, overcame that circumstance, or even learn from it. Also, when talking about some do's, do ask for a few moments to think, if you need to, right? And it might actually help you to jot down some notes. It's important to remember that employers aren't expecting you to be superhuman. Just go in, do your best, and be proud of your accomplishments and excited about everything you have to offer.